Okay, so I wanted to just come here briefly and very impromptuly, is that a word? I don't even know. Off the cuff, because I just wrote a blog. I'm having an admin day today, right? Doing all the things that a sole proprietor, entrepreneur, somatic practitioner, death doula, also has to take care of, like the billing, the paperwork, the writing, the scheduling. Yeah. So I actually love these days. But I just wrote a blog about hospice. And I want to just like come on and have this a place where you can feel my essence, you can see me, you can feel my heart, hopefully. And this video is for anyone who might be considering hospice, struggling with considering hospice, not sure about hospice, uninformed about hospice. Just to let you know that hospice does not mean giving up. It does not mean you're giving up on your loved one. I really wish we could rebrand the word hospice. I am sorry that it has such a stigma around it. Some of the most loveliest, most compassionate, helpful practitioners that I know are in the hospice field. Truly just here to serve. Okay, that aside, for some reason, hospice has such a negative connotation, right? When you hear that word, people think end of life is imminent. People think dying is tomorrow, within a week. People think they are giving up on their loved one. When in my beliefs, it is completely the opposite. It is adding support. It is a loving thing to do for you and your family to enlist and call on hospice. It is adding, mental, emotional, spiritual, practical support for you and your loved one and all the caregivers. Even the paid caregiver gets like an hour break / support when hospice comes in to support the dying person and their family, right? So it covers so many levels. It's a safe place for you to ask questions, for you to discuss. I mean, so it's similar to a death doula in that way, as I'm a death doula, right? Except that I don't do any of the medical stuff, right? So hospice is wonderful because they can do the practical and medical comfort measures that I cannot do. Also, one of the most beneficial, amazing, loving things that a hospice provides is 24/7 support, access to support, right? So they're not going to stay with you or the loved one for 24/7. Your death doula can, though. Your death doula can hold vigil and stay with you if you decide you want to use them for that. But the hospice nurse will be accessible to you should something arise on off hours, which is what I love. So if you're in a situation where you're trying to keep your loved one home, or your loved one wants to stay home at end of life, right? That's the goal, trying to avoid the hospitals for a more natural dying at home experience. If that's what your wish is, if that's what the patient's wish is, if you have hospice enlisted, then you have access to that phone number 24/7. So if something happens in the middle of the night that you don't know how to handle, that the caregiver doesn't know how to handle, and you're trying to avoid going to the emergency room, you can ring up that hospice nurse and they will come by. If they can, they will advise you over the phone and tell you what to do until they can get there. So my wish is that we could rebrand this hospice word and people learn that it truly is a supportive, loving measure. It's additional support. It's not taking away anything. It doesn't mean we're giving up. But I get it. I get that it also can signify like the reality of the situation for people. Yeah, and that's hard too. I understand that. I'm just wishing for, a different way of looking at hospice.